Hey, hello friends. Welcome to my channel SAP SD and ABAP League Support. So, in yesterday's session, we discussed about that client requirement, right? About that STO creation process, which will be triggered from the output medium 8. And this FS relevant to that functionality only, how to trigger that output and what configuration is required and how to prepare FS in this scenario. And moreover, we know that, right, in ABAP we have a rise of W objects are there. R for reports, I for interface, C for conversion, E for enhancement, F for forms, and W for workflow. So currently this is an enhancement only. It is not a report. It is not a interface, not a conversion, not a form, not a workflow. It is simply enhancement, enhancing the existing functionality. And moreover, I heard that, so in the interview also they're asking about the FS and what are the important things that we should keep in mind when we prepare the FS and what are the critical sections in FS. But one of our friend not able to answer that question. So today we will go through that important areas which we should keep in our mind. Okay, and moreover, it is not like that FS should be like this only. It depends. Okay, in one project the FS might be like this. In other project the FS might be different way. But the intention is to cover the important things. That should be same only. Important things in the sense the functional requirement, the assumptions, test cases. If it's a new T code development, then the roles and authority objects, test cases, flowchart. These are fixed. Okay, there's no change about this one. Anyways, let me start from the beginning. Okay, so again we will go through from here onwards. The version, the date, the document name, right, and the summary. We can mention about the requirement only here, right? And we can mention the when initially this FS was prepared and any other changes improvised on this functionality means when it was done. Then we should keep on add that updates. It's kind of history we should maintain, and we can update any other documents relevant to this functionality. If we have, we can update that one, and we should specify the quality reviewer. So in a project, whenever we prepare an FS, then it will go for multiple reviews. It's internal reviewed by our senior, and that will go to our manager or team lead. Once it is internally approved by our team lead or manager, then it will be sent to that in business SMEs, who will again validate that FS and try to approve it. Once that is approved, then we should try to upload this FS document into the Solman solution, the solution architecture. Okay, there we need to upload it, the Solman, and you can see here who will be doing the quality reviews and who will be approved. So those names we should mention that, and here we should specify when it was approved, when it was reviewed. These are the basic things for all the FS reports, interface, conversion, workflow, any objects, rise of W objects. These are basic things. Okay. Okay, so in the overview, so if you see here, the first content is overview. Under overview, we have sub contents are there 1.1 till 1.6. Okay, 1.1 speak about the high level business flow. Let me scroll down. Okay, so in the overview, we'll mention that in 2 to 3 lines, what's the requirement? As I mentioned yesterday, right? A Mexican distributor, a customer, place an order with cross-border plans, right? And the plants are nothing but a Laredo and San Diego, and the supply will happen from the US plants to this plant. It's kind of an STO scenario, which will happen from the order level only. So we should automate this STO process now. That's the intention of this FS document. So we should specify that requirement only in the JFS only. Okay, and here in detail we are explaining about this uh, requirement of that business, right? And we see we have mentioned that we are going to create one output type and with the medium as 8 special function output type, which will try to create the STO. And if you see here, this is the flow, the document, the business flow, actually how it works, where it starts, right? If you mention this business flow, some charts, some pictures, means it will be easy for understand actually, right? So that we should specify and explain this. Then business benefit, what benefit will business achieve here, right? So by doing this kind of automation, the manual interaction will be reduced, the manual effort will be reduced a lot. So in a way that end user can focus on other critical things. So we are saving the productivity, we are saving the time of that user, and making it an accurate way. So in case of manual time, there is a possibility that there might be some error might go wrong during creation of the STO. By automating this, it will work in a fixed way all the time, right? That's the benefit now we are going to get. So now we are specifying the configuration required to create this output type. So we need to specify the output type ZSTO and assign that program and smart form, and place this output in that output procedure, then create that condition records, right? That's one thing. Then next thing is that, so we are restricting that this change should be applicable to these two plants only, right? Then those two plants should be maintained in this TVERVC variable. Okay, if you maintain those plants in the TVERVC variable, then the logic should be written accordingly to restrict or make it work for these two plants only. In case of other plants in the order means, then output won't trigger, right? So we are verifying that the plant should be maintained in this routine. Then order should not have a credit block. Order should be completed. If order contains any credit block, then output won't trigger. If order contains any incompletion log, then also output won't trigger, right? So these things we have specified here, and again we specified that if in the change of an order VS02, if we increase the quantity, if items deleted, rejected, or a new item addition, that time also again the same output will trigger, and it will try to do the modification in the existing PO, or it will try to create the new PO, right? This will happen like this. So like this, we should keep on explain about this requirement, how it works, and what how the logic behaves, right? Everything we should specify here. And if you see here under the functional requirements, there is a one section called security and authorization. Okay, this will be applicable only to the T codes, any reports. That means with help of this authority objects and roles, we are restricting that this should be accessed by those relevant people only. To avoid unauthorization activities, we should restrict this one. Okay, so in this case, we are not developing any new report, nothing like that. It's just an enhancement only, right? In case of enhancement, T codes, roles not required. That's why it is mentioned as NA, not applicable. But when we go for a new development of report, the object here is that R. The rise of W object, R is then report, right? In case of an R reports, then we should definitely mention that T code, which T code created, what is that authority object has been created in that report, and what roles we should assign to that T code, and for which users this T code access will be given. Those things will be mentioned under this section only. This section is specifically for that security only, right? We can't mention the same thing in other sections, not required, right? This is relevant for that only, so that information should be mentioned here only. And error handling, right? So in case of any error comes, then how should we handle that? That also should specify here. Okay, and important thing is that test cases. So we should specify the test case here. So once the development has been completed, then what test that we are going to perform here, like creating an order. Okay, just mention like test case, create order, and order is in credit block. As we mentioned earlier that whenever order is in credit block, then output won't trigger, right? So the result will be output should not trigger. Similar way, create an order, order is in incomplete log. Same thing, output should not trigger, right? And create an order for the plant which is not mentioned in the TVRVC variable. We mentioned, right? This change should be applicable to two plants, whatever maintained in the TVRS variable. If we create an order for other plants, then also output shouldn't trigger. It's in regression testing or negative testing. That plant only output should trigger, right? Okay, now maintain condition records for that new output type, and then try to create the order no block on this order. Okay, if there is no block in the order means output should trigger. And in the document flow, we should see PO number. So like this, we should keep on add the test cases which is relevant to this one, right? And this is the important section we should remember. So under this section enhancement, detailed specification, we should specify that which programs that we did the changes, which function model, which standard program. Like this, we need to specify the technical objects, right? So like this, we specify. Okay, let me go top, and again let me reiterate the important things that we should remember in the FS. First thing is that the business high level overview of the requirement. What's the intention of this or change request? Okay. Next is what is the advantage or benefits that user is going to receive after this change implementation, that we should specify. Okay. Assumption. So assumption in the sense, so here we can specify that the negative things, in which cases this won't work. Like if we don't maintain the plant in the various variable, then this functionality won't work. If we don't maintain the condition records properly, then this won't work. And if it's in a credit block or incompletion block, then also it won't work. So those things we should specify under assumptions, right? And if our changes dependent on any other things, then that we should specify, or else we can leave it. And if we have any documents, relevant documents for this functionality, attach it here. And in the functional requirements, we should specify the development description, like what changes we are going to carry, like new output creation. And if any new key combination is developed means, we should specify that we should create the new connection tables, create the access sequence, and if required, develop that new custom routine, requirement routine, right? And create a new output procedure, or we can use existing one. Like this, we should keep on add the development requirement and how the logic should work. Everything we should mention in detail here. And security authorization, this is specifically for the report and T codes to provide an relevant access to the users. And test cases we should specify, and error handling as well. Under enhancement section, we should again specify the technical programs. Okay, so during preparation of the FS initial stage, we might not aware of the technical object what we're going to touch or write the logic, right? So this section we can add the points once development is completed and UVT approved also fine, right? At the last, once the changes are approved, then we can finalize which object is the right one where we written the logic, right? Then we can take that programs and update in this particular section. And moreover, this might not be available in other FS. Depends, right? The content may change, but the data and the content is same only. And you see here, there are here one more section, like the graphical way of representing that functionality scenario, right? This is also we can specify here. So like this, 5 to 10 important things are there, the effort that we should need to be done, right? So if you speak about these points in interview means, it will be easy to clear that round. Okay friends, that's it from this video. We can catch up in the next video. Bye for now.